Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day one, episode one of albums that are 40 years old in 2022. That's right. We are going back to 1982. We're going to get off the kind of 50-year bandwagon, and we're going to celebrate albums that are 40 years old, celebrating their 40th anniversary here in 2022. We're going back to another really great year, 1982. 1982 is pretty special for me because I was 16 years old at the time. When you're 16 years old, right, you're like a sponge. You're just absorbing everything possible. So I looked through all of the albums that were released in 1982. Holy shit. A lot of great ones, a lot of ones that I was hugely into then, most I'm still into now, and a lot I've actually gone back and discovered in the years since, right? Because, when you're 16, you listen to a lot of stuff, but now I'm listening to way more now than I ever did back then, which is crazy when you think about it. So, 28 days of February, I'm going to give you my 28 favorites, and then a bunch of honorable mentions at the end of the month, kind of like what we just did in January. So today, I was feeling really lazy this morning. I have this on CD. It's like buried under a ton of other shit. And I was like, oh man, I didn't feel like taking everything out. So you're going to get the cover image on my phone. But I do own this. I do like this. This album released, like I said, 1982 on the Columbia label, produced by Dennis McKay and Al Di Meola. Of course, we're talking about the fifth studio album by jazz fusion guitar great Al Di Meola, Electric Rendezvous. There it is right there. Always loved that cover with the black leopard. There's a Jaguar. I can't remember. Jaguar, Leopard. Which one's black? Which is the one with the spots? I don't fucking remember. With the great black Les Paul. Not a long album, right? Just 34 minutes long. But this, for me, would be the last truly great 70s style fusion album that Mr. Di Meola had done. And he's got a great cast on here. He's got Anthony Jackson on bass. He's got Jan Hammer on keyboards. Philip Sacey on keyboards on one track. Steve Gadd plays drums on this album. Mingo Lewis plays percussion. And on one track, you got the great classical guitarist Paco de Lucia. So here, the one thing about this album that's I think a little bit different than his previous solo albums from the 70s is that there's a little bit more of a commercial air to this album. There's definitely more kind of playful pop melodies, but there's plenty of burn-in guitar. There's plenty of burn-in synthesizer from Mr. Hammer. There's great drumming and bass playing on this album. I think musically this is still a great album. It's just a little bit more accessible. So you got Godbird Change, killer song written by Mingo Lewis. It's amazing how many Mingo Lewis tracks or songs made it onto the early Di Meola catalog. Great song. Electric Rendezvous, the title track, absolutely amazing. Then you got Passion, Grace, and Fire, which is a great duet between the two, between De Lucia and Di Meola on acoustic guitars, right? They would later go on to do, of course, the Passion, Grace, and Fire album with John McLaughlin, Friday Night in San Francisco, that whole thing. You got Cruisin', which is a Jan Hammer song. I love Cruisin'. It's just... It's a playful song. It's so hooky, amazing. I mean, I love Cruisin'. I mean, I think some people at the time were kind of like, why is Al doing a song like that, right? But I totally dig it a lot. You got Black Cat Shuffle, another really fun song. You got Ritmo de la Noche, just gorgeous. Somalia is a quick little track, and then Jewel Inside a Dream finishes the album up. That's really cool, majestic, got some great melodies. Good guitar picking from Al. I don't know, I really like this album. Is it Land of the Midnight Sun? Is it Electric Gypsy? No. But is it Casino? No. But to me, it's easily his fourth best album. I like this better than Splendido Hotel, which I think has some great moments on it, but is a little too long and has some filler. Whereas I think this album, really, really fun. Well produced, sounds great. It's way too short, though. But, back in the day, 34 minutes, yeah, that was kind of the norm. 34 to 40 minutes, that was the norm. But I dig this album a lot. Electric Rendezvous from the legendary jazz fusion guitarist Al Di Meola. That is my pick for number 28. A lot of, it's funny, in going through all the albums, generally what I do when I do these month-long picks from a specific year is I go through everything and I just put together a main list. And then I start picking out my absolute favorites and putting them into my top, in this case, 28. And, then I get the 28 slots filled, and then I look at what's left. And I'm like, all right, well, out of the stuff that's left, which are the real highlights of the ones that's left, and then I go and compare to what I put in the top, and then I start making some changes. Sometimes there's not a lot of those type of changes, and then I look at, after, if I've done any last minute changes, then I go back and I look to make sure I didn't miss anything from the sources where I look at what was released that year. And then I just kind of I generally move things around because, as you know, I like to save my absolute favorites for later in the month. I make you wait for those. So then I move things around, and then it's just a matter of kind of going through every day and, knocking each one of them out. But sometimes during the month, I look back at that list. I'm like, got to make a last minute switch. That doesn't happen too often because I put a lot of thought into this as I'm putting the list together before we start recording, right? So, and then I look at the honorable mentions, and if the honorable mentions are way too long, I start saying, all right, I could probably take this one off, I could probably take that one off, because I don't want to give you guys a million honorable mentions. I try to leave it at 20 to 25 or something like that. So, and yeah, there's a lot of them for this year. So we'll see how that works out by the end of the month. So there you have it. Electric Rendezvous by Al Di Meola, a great fusion album of a great guitar player. If you haven't heard it, please check it out. Let us know what you think of Electric Rendezvous in the comments below. Otherwise, list your pick for day one here in the comments below. And we got 27 more days of coming. I got a lot of cool stuff on my list. I've got, hard rock and lots of metal, a little bit of prog. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. And my honorable mentions list has even more weird stuff that didn't quite make the cut of 28, but still some really good stuff there. So thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned for another one of these tomorrow and each and every morning leading up to the 28th. What else we got going on tonight? We've got In the Prog Seat. We're going to do a special Album War episode of In the Prog Seat. We've been doing that for a few weeks on the Hudson Valley Squares, and we're going to continue that through the rest of February. We're going to just, the Album War thing on the Hudson Valley Squares is going to be all month of February, and then we're going to move on to regular stuff. But we personally are having a lot of fun with it. That's the important thing, and I think the viewers seem to dig it, and it gives us a little bit of a break from the big, long, hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half shows. So these are generally about 45 minutes or so, and we just plow through these albums, what we like, what we don't like, and we do a tally and all that sort of thing. So that's been fun for us to have a little bit of a break on a Monday night away from the big, long, debate shows or the big, discussion shows. And but we'll get back to those in a couple weeks. But we're celebrating 40 years of great albums from 1982, all month long here on Sea of Tranquility. So Album War tomorrow night on In the Prog Seat. We've got Rush Signals going up against Jethro Tull, Broadsword, and the Beast. We've got, I'll give you the schedule right now. We've got on the Hudson Valley Squares next week, we have, this is going to be a good one, Black Sabbath Live Evil versus Ozzy Osbourne Speak the Devil. The week after that, we've got Whitesnake Ready and Willin' going up against Straight Between the Eyes by Rainbow. Then we've got, after that, we have Salt Attack by Michael Schenker Group going up against Gary Moore, Corridors of Power. And then we've got, hold on. I'm forgetting the title of the Raven album. Hold on. We've got Raven Wiped Out. That's it. Raven Wiped Out going up against Battle Hymns by Manowar. And that's going to finish out the month of February, finish up the Album Wars, and we're going to be back into regular stuff on the Hudson Valley Square. So thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in, subscribe if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and we've got the link to our Ko-Fi page below as well for you to make, if you want to make some channel donations, as well as the link to our merch page. We got all sorts of cool Sea Tranquility stuff, so check it out, and we'll see you real soon here on Sea Tranquility, because we are here all together all the damn time. Thanks for watching. I'm Pete Pardo. See you tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye-bye.